Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
This is another in our series of programs about the Samaritan Counseling Center, a wonderful facility that's been around for 43 years and has served so many people. And if you're not one of those people, or you don't have relatives that have been served by this, then you may not be familiar with it, but you should be, because at some time or another, almost everybody needs the Samaritan Counseling Center. And our guest today is someone that would be one of the first people you would talk to. Teresa Alexander is in the administration side of the Samaritan Counseling Center, and she would probably be the one if you just wanted to call and ask some questions about whether you need or whether you could have access to the Samaritan Counseling Center. And also, she would be one that could answer a number of questions if you had a crisis in your community. But before we start talking about our Samaritan Counseling Center, I want Teresa to tell us everything that we need to know about you.
Thank you, Johnny. Born and raised in West Texas, Odessa specifically. Love the area, love the people. We left the area, Mark and I married in 1981. He was with Exxon, left. That road led us into ministry, so we were in the area, greater area, for about 25 years and felt a call to come back home. Felt our parents we wanted to be closer to them later in life, have siblings and their families here. Mark and I raised 3 children. They're, for the most part, in the area. We have 2 in Midland and 1 in Abilene, and along with those, we have added 3 family members by marriage, and we have 5 grandchildren. And that was the drawing card for me to get back to the area. And when we came back in 2013, we had 3 grandchildren. We have had 2 granddaughters in Midland in the last year. So we have it was all about family to get back and spend this time.
Which is so important then to work for an organization that really promotes everything good about families.
Absolutely. That is, our faith, family, and friends are what are important to us. So that's what brought us back. I've started to work at Samaritan Counseling Center about 2 years ago. Contract last year went as part of the full-time staff, and just love it. Jobs keep us here. My husband is executive director of United Way of Midland. So we're both steeped in not-for-profit organizations, and Samaritan Counseling Center has had a presence here, like you said, for 43 years, and it is about everything that we believe in.
And the important thing that we've got to remember is that these nonprofits are what makes the quality of life so important.
Absolutely. There is such a spirit of giving and serving in the greater West Texas area, that people want to be healthy, but they also want their communities to be strengthened, and the healthier the individual, the healthier the community. And people are willing to give to those that may not be able to afford services, so they help provide those within our communities to make our communities all that they can be.
And one of the things, though, that a lot of people don't understand is, how do I have access? Would the Samaritan Counseling Center ever be something I could use? And so you might talk a little bit in general about the Samaritan Counseling Center and how to access it.
Yes, everybody has access to the counseling center. Whether you're referred or not, all you have to do is call and say, I'm interested in setting up a counseling session. We do what is called an intake. It takes about 10 minutes. We ask a couple of questions. We don't get into the reasons why they're coming in other than just a general overview. But it doesn't matter whether you're full fee, whether you're insured, whether you are
employed.
Medicaid, you don't have to be employed. All of those things help, but if you don't, we have a client assistance fund. And through that fund and through our military funds, anybody that desires, needs, or is looking for help, healing, and most of all hope, they can come and nobody is turned away for as little as, you know, a $20 copay or investment, what we call therapy ready. Somebody's willing to pay $20 towards a therapy session that
which normally is about, it costs you about $137.
Right. We never charge. We never charge more than $125 per session. So each of the sessions are supplemented, but for somebody, you know, for a fee as small as $20, socioeconomics don't matter. Everybody gets the same level of care and treatment. And
age, gender?
No, we from 4 up into our average clientele right now is going anywhere from the age of 4 up to 80s, and you know it runs from one end of the spectrum to another, from just adjustment disorders, somebody moving to the community, having trouble adjusting, especially culturally, if they have never lived in West Texas or never lived in an area that is flat, that doesn't have the vegetation, that maybe the sun doesn't shine as much as it did from an area. I mean, there are all kinds of factors from that all the way to major events.
But also just the transition of a lot of people going from retired, from working to retired, or going from being an empty nester to being an empty nester. All of these transitions can really upset your balance and cause you to need some counseling. Sometimes 1 or 2 sessions is all you need.
Absolutely. We have a lot of clients that come and they get the help that they need within a couple of sessions. There are some that, you know, are more ongoing depending on what they're dealing with, but we're available for as long as they need.
And the interesting thing is you've gotten some special grants, and I want us to talk more about that after the break, for some special populations like veterans and veterans' families that have so much need. But also, I want us to talk about helping communities when they've had some kind of real crisis that has disrupted the whole community. We're going to have to take a break right now, but we'll be back in just a minute and continue this conversation. See you then.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.